All right, today we're diving into a really cool thought experiment. It's a wild one that throws our modern world smack into the middle of ancient desperation. I mean, it sounds kind of ridiculous, doesn't it? But stick with me,
What do you mean by that?
because this one simple question unravels into this incredible story about psychology, logistics, and, well, what happens when a miracle goes horribly wrong. Okay, so let's paint a picture. Imagine this. It's 70 AD. You are trapped inside a city that's completely surrounded. The enemy, they're just sitting out there, waiting. They know it's just a matter of time before the brutal math of starvation wins the war for them. Hope is just gone. But then there's you.
Wow. I didn't know that. You're telling me now for the first time.
You're the glitch in this historical matrix. You show up with something that makes absolutely no sense. 100 boxes of instant ramen. And you gotta understand, this isn't just food. It's a piece of impossible 21st century technology plops right into the middle of this desperate ancient crisis. And get this, the technological gap we're talking about is something like
That's all you need right now. That tell me that wasn't no bull.
to the starving people in this city, a simple block of instant noodles might as well be a UFO. It's that alien, that advanced. So what does that make you? With that impossible piece of tech in your hands, you're not just some traveler anymore. Oh no, you instantly become something more. You're a sorcerer, a miracle worker. And the crazy part is, your miracle is so simple. All you need is boiling water, right? The most basic thing they have. You add the noodle brick, but the real magic, that's in the seasoning packet. That little foil pouch isn't just spices, it's a chemical payload of flavor that their taste buds literally cannot process. It's a complete sensory explosion. So you see, you haven't just given them a meal. You've given them proof of a power that is completely beyond their understanding. To these starving people, you're not human. You are a mechanical god, making food appear from thin air. And that food, it immediately becomes a tool, a weapon even. Sure, morale goes through the roof, which is great, but suddenly you hold all the power. You get to decide who eats and who doesn't. You're feeding the high-value defenders, the best soldiers, the engineers, to keep the city fighting. You're not just earning loyalty, you're buying it, one noodle packet at a time. You're stealing time right out from under the enemy's nose. But that feeling, being a food god, it can't last. The magic, the miracle, it's about to slam headfirst into the cold, hard wall of mathematics. This is that 2 a.m. reality check when the party's over and you have to face the facts. And here's the pivot.
Here I come. Oh, here I come.
On one side, you've got this incredible citywide hope. The gods must have sent a savior. But on the other side, you've got the grim, unavoidable truth of the numbers. So let's look at what you've actually got. 2,400 meals. 2,400. At first, that sounds like a ton, right? It feels like a mountain of miracles. Until you look out at the city, and you realize there are 10,000 hungry mouths to feed. 10,000. All of a sudden, 2,400 meals isn't a miracle anymore. It's an absolute strategic nightmare. It's not even one meal for a quarter of the people. This brings us to this idea called the logistics of exhaustion. Think about it. Your ramen is finite. It's not replaceable. Once it's gone, it's gone. That means every single packet you give away is a choice you can never take back. You are literally deciding who has the energy to live another day, all based on a supply that's shrinking by the minute. And as that supply starts to dwindle, the problem changes. It's not just about math anymore. Now it's about psychology. Because you've given these people a taste of heaven, a taste they can never, ever have again. And this is where it gets truly devastating.
How? Hold on, bro. How?
That flavor, that salt, that MSG, that everything in that seasoning packet was so intense, so otherworldly, that it basically rewired their brains. And now their normal food, the gritty bread, the thin grained soup that was keeping them alive, it tastes like nothing, like ash. So what happens when a miracle starts to die? That initial hope, that wonder, it curdles. It turns into this desperate, panicked craving. The unity you built? It shatters. It becomes a stampede for the last few packets. And that brings us to the final, tragic chapter of this whole thing. This is the story of how the savior, the noodle sorcerer, becomes the demon of boiling water. The last packet is gone. It's a simple, brutal fact. The thing that made you powerful, the thing that gave this city hope, it's all used up. And with that last empty wrapper, the fragile little world you built just tears apart. That shared dream that a god had come to save them, it's over. Savior becomes demon. In their minds, in the minds of these desperate, starving people, you're not the hero anymore. You're the villain. And the story flips on you with terrifying speed. See, people can't just accept that the magic ran out. That's too simple. So they invent new stories. You're hoarding the rest of it. You must have put a curse on the city's grain to make it taste so awful. You're a demon who gave them a taste of paradise just to rip it away. The city's cohesion just cracks. And here it is, the final gut punch. In the end, your 100 boxes of ramen didn't save the city. They just accelerated its destruction. By introducing this impossible hope, this addictive taste of another world, you didn't strengthen their resolve. You shattered it. You made the ends come even faster. So it all comes down to this one last haunting question for you. Knowing what you know now, what glitch from our time would you bring back to a besieged city? And more importantly, do you think you could live with what happens next?